Hello, hammerheads! Thanks for tuning in. Been just browsing through me documents, right? I come across this recipe I must have wrote a few years ago now. And rather than like crouch down like this and read it off my laptop screen, that's a bit awkward and that, you know what I mean? My printer's on the blink, so couldn't print it off. But I knew somewhere in my bedroom I had a printed copy. I found it now, but Jesus wept, it took me an hour to locate it. 'Cause I didn't realise I had that much shit in my bedroom, document-wise. I mean, I've got one of them brass ottomans, right? Like a trunk thing. Lift the lid up and it's just full to the brim of old manuscripts and reply letters from literary agents and friggin' bills and bank statements that go back about friggin' 12 years. And then I look in my bedroom drawer and I've got loads of songs I wrote, literally hundreds of them, poems, and Jesus wept, all my homemade Christmas cards I used to make years ago with Santa getting his balls blown off and head chopped off and stuff on each one of them. Anyway, I came across it in the end. Yep, it's a bit battered and tattered. Creole soup. Basically, this is a Caribbean dish. Well, Caribbean starter, if you like. I mean, you don't have to have it as a starter. You can have about 10 bowls of it and then you won't want a main course, would you? But anyway, this is for Jo Blogs and Dibber, because I know they're both vegetarians. And this is completely vegetarian, this soup. My favourite soup ever. It's really tasty. There's no dead animals in it whatsoever. And it's better than the crap you get in Heinz and that, you know, the tins and that. I was in the cooperative the other day up Concord, right? You know how much Heinz soups are there? About 95 pence. And they're for the fucking small tins. You walk across the road and you go in Heron. It's only 50 odd pence in there. And that's for big tins of Heinz soup. Heinz soup's rubbish anyway. They've took all the horrible ingredients out that are bad for you. So they spoiled it. Doesn't taste of anything anymore. Anyway. Ingredients. 1 green pepper. 1 red pepper. 1 medium onion. White ones used to be great. Whatever happened to those? Did they die along with Mr. Thorburn? Yeah, whatever happened to them white onions? Used to have like a white skin, didn't they? A lot stronger in flavour they were. I used to like them much better. 4 cloves of garlic. Purchase a bottle of Listerine while you're at it. 6 good and ripe vine tomatoes. Not the shite you find in the bins behind the school bike sheds. A good dollop of tomato puree. 1 or 2 red chillies of your choice. But avoid the Scotch bonnets unless you possess an asbestos arse. Stick to bird eyes. Widely used in Thai dishes. Reliable. Also very hot. 1 carton of either Libby's or Del Monte tomato juice. Certainly not Best In or bloody Happy Shopper. Get the best you can manage. A glass of white wine. If you don't have any handy, white wine vinegar should suffice. But not a whole glass of it unless you want to suffer from heartburn for the rest of your life. A cucumber. Stop laughing. A decent vegetable stock if you can be bothered. If worse comes to worse, use one of them Knorr cubes, but not one of those things from Aldi. They're way too salty and you'll be drinking gallons of water until the next millennium. a touch of cayenne pepper, optional, half a teaspoon of white pearl or Raja chili powder, essential. You can put more than that in if you want. A few drops of Tabasco sauce, optional, it depends on how spicy you want it. A pinch of salt and pepper, and no, not the silly Pete Waterman act from the 1980s. A touch of fresh basil is another option. But don't blame me when John Cleese steps from your bowl and starts doing a silly German walk. Yep, and the method is short and sweet. Chop all veg except tomatoes and sauté them in a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Add the tomatoes, tomato juice, wine, sauce and spices not long after, and everything else. But simmer on a lowish heat for about 20 minutes. To serve, garnish with chopped cucumber and basil, both optional, but I would recommend them. You know, a lot of people, cucumber's one of them things, you either like it or you dislike it. But it acts as a nice cooling agent. You know, to garnish the top of it, like just quartered. And that's in case you accidentally make it far too bloody hot, which I've done before on many occasions. Yeah, basically it's a recipe that doesn't need to be followed by the letter, like most people do, to seemingly achieve a sense of unoriginality. Yeah, a lot of people do that, don't they? I mean, I used to go around this lad's flat once, and he used to come round. Mum used to cook for each other. He was a good cook, but he never did anything by himself. He had all these cookbooks, right? Nigella Lawson, Jamie Oliver, Ainsley Harriott, and all the rest of them. Anthony Worrell Thompson, and he used to literally, like, open his cookbook proper on top of his cooker, right? And he's doing it by the letter. Well, that's not his, is it? That's not his dish. I mean, you get people like that, don't you? On the fucking faces, buried in a cookbook. And whatever they're cooking, basically, they're copying somebody else's work, so it's not their dish. Just like these bands that do loads of cover versions. It's not their fucking music. That's not what the bands are like, is it? Oh. I don't do that. I get an idea and I go, that sounds good. I'll try that. Or watch these cookery programmes and I'll go, that looks like a good idea. But obviously I don't do it exactly the same because it wouldn't be my dish. Anyway, this is a good starter, you know, if you're having something exotic like Caribbean or something, like jerk barbecued chicken or something. Well, you can't, can you? You'll have to have jerk barbecued corn, won't you? But like, you know, something like that. It's a lovely soup. Nice crusty bread. It's very rich as well, very tasty. Well, that's about it, hammerheads. That's for Wizzy Wiggy Nutty Joe 51 and Dibber. Because, you know, I didn't even know he was a vegetarian until a few weeks ago. There you go. I'll see you later, hammerheads. Enjoy. Ho ho.